Philip, in terms of some additional new trends within the Australian marketplace, are there any ones in particular that we should keep an eye out for?
There are. I mean, there are many. It's worth pausing and thinking of how many there would be and where it might go. But if you, again, we go back to collaboration. Collaboration to me will be one of the key parts of it. The software is being developed, the hardware technology, our product capability is improving, changing all the time. So collaboration will be one of the keys, and collaboration lends itself from the student. If you think of it in my examples of the students collaborating as they come through the secondary, primary, secondary environment into the tertiary environment, doing collaboration in real time, a wireless university, students using laptops or devices to access curriculum and collaborate with one another. As they come out into the workforce, clearly by the time they're coming through, the workforce environment will have changed. We'll be doing a lot more collaboration. We'll be doing a lot more remote working. We'll be using devices that, as I said, are they're a compute device and they're a communications device as well. They'll be on the network no matter where we are at any time. And so you get this rich collaboration that will evolve. And so that will be one of the signals that I would say will be over the next few years. From a technological standpoint, there will be any number of changes, and Intel clearly will be at the forefront of these changes as we move the processors into the products. We will start to see the products change from pure laptops into tablets, into devices, into PDAs. The morphing of the telecommunications and the computing world will continue at a rapid pace. And so I think those will be the key changes, and many others around it, far too many to talk about.
Earlier on we talked about the Intel Teach of the Future initiative. Can we go back and revisit the details on why it's considered a success?
Sure. We started the Intel Teach to the Future from an Australia perspective in 2003. It's been a huge success since then. We're currently involved with the 3 education boards of New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. To date we have some 3,000 teachers trained as part of the program in Australia so far. We have a goal to continue that over the next few years, and we expect to see that rising. There's been a huge investment from Intel worldwide. There's a fund every year that is some $100 million applied to all of our education initiatives, and Teach to the Future is one of the key ones. Worldwide, there are some 2 million teachers trained around the globe as part of this, and it really goes back to the essence of why Intel is interested in education. And if you look at it here from the Australian perspective, we're a great example of teachers understanding that their professional development in the modern world requires an understanding of technology, requires an understanding of how technology has such an impact both on society as well as on the delivery of educational curriculum and outcomes, and how they can take these learnings as part of the Teach to the Future program and start to utilize them in the classroom, start to utilize them as the benefits for the students at the primary level, which is where Teach to the Future is aimed, and start to have real outcomes for those students. And there are many examples I could have given you, back to my earlier example of the students in year 7. But the joy of the program is that it is, from a slow start, it is now recognized by each of the departments, as I mentioned, as one of the key programs in the professional development of their teachers, and it is getting significant mileage and significant response from the teaching community, to the extent that at various stages the demand far outstrips our ability and the department's ability to supply places for it. So we're very excited by the program. It's got a great future, and I think we will be pleased by as we see the results climb year on year.
Philip, you mentioned that initially there was a slow take-up. What was the cause of that?
Well, I think in essence, like any new thing, as you introduce it to the educational environment, it has to run its course. So, and slow in the sense is, if you think of it, it's 2003 as we kicked off, so it's not really that slow. It's now the beginning of 2005. We've already passed the 3,000 mark. So we're again, go back to why it's successful is I think people have recognised the value. You then have to obviously organise the courses and enrolments and so forth, and deliver the training and train the trainers and all the stuff that goes with it. So I think from there you then accelerate very, very quickly. And we call it scale. From there you can scale out. And from that it's very exciting. And the pace at which we're going now is very good.
Philip, you mentioned Griffith University. Can you share with us some more insights?
Yes, it's a great, again, another area that we're clearly involved with the teaching profession. There are 2 elements to it. There's Griffith University campus, and there's Griffith University Teaching Hospital. So let me just touch upon the teaching hospital very quickly. So we've been working in collaboration with the Dean of the Teaching Hospital. Again, they're looking at how they work in a change from the traditional delivery of education for health professionals into a more technologically capable delivery. They're using tablets, they're using devices, they're using laptops, you know, Intel Centrino-based laptops. They've got PDAs. They're looking at patient record management, surgical training in the operating theatre, using technology to underpin that, as opposed to older-fashioned styles. So we've been working with them, and you know, one of our key focuses obviously is health and the health industry within Australia, and the need for technology to deliver outcomes within that health environment, and longer term that has real importance to Australia, both to our people and to the economy. Griffith University is a slight tangent from that, albeit in the same area. They have some 17,000 students on campus. They've got 5 campuses spread over, I think it's a 50-kilometre radius. They have a large investment in computer laboratories, but they're recognising, you know, the cost of investing in laboratories is just rising exponentially, and they're recognising that clearly if they move to a wirelessly enabled, broadband capable environment where the students are armed with the latest laptops or PDAs or devices that can access the curriculum and access the lectures and do that collaboration, as we mentioned, that Griffith University can realise that they don't have to invest in the big computer laboratories any longer. They can take that funding and invest in better infrastructure and better curriculum delivery and so forth. And it's gaining real favour within the student bodies. It's supported by the student unions and so forth. And again, we're starting to see the effect of that as those students will come out into the workforce. They will come armed with technology underpinning whatever it is they do and whatever discipline they may go to.
Great, interesting.
It's good. It's a great place.
Excellent. It certainly is interesting what Intel is doing there with the Griffith University. However, I'm just curious about student numbers. How many students are registered for the course?
In the Griffith, at any stage, I think it's some 17,000. We'll check the exact number of different. Yeah. They're probably enrolling more this year as a result of the program.
I see. It certainly is a very interesting case study to openly discuss. Just curious to know, when it comes to deploying these e-learning initiatives in terms of the devices that these campuses have implemented, what are they using and what will they be using in the near future?
I think there'll be pilots that will be running at different stages. The guys that run the Griffith side are, you know, very advanced in their thinking, so they'll have different pilots going at different stages for people running many types of devices, whether they be, you know, Centrino-based laptops or you know, a PDA device. And then go back to my earlier point of the convergence of these products over the next few years, and you start to see that you know, what students will be using will not look like the things that they're using today.
Philip, thank you very much for your time and discussing what Intel is doing.
Cheers.